Yo, what is good, my anime people? I apologize about the jet engine in the background. I call it PlayStation 4. It's so trash. Literally trying to figure out a way to get the sound out, and I just can't. Like, I can't figure out how to just have the humming in the background gone, and it's actually kind of making me mad enough to want to stop making videos and stop putting stuff up, because you guys don't deserve to be hearing that crap. But with all that being said, The Ones Within is probably becoming one of my very, very scary shows when it comes down to what could be possible of like what we're going to learn and what we could actually be seeing in the future here, because not only have they shown us like a good amount of different ways that these characters have gone through pretty tragic things, and that they still are going through it in their mind, or they're still carrying the guilt and stuff like that of certain things. It's funny to me that with it being shown, we just kind of have to imagine, like, how did they live their life after these events happen? How did they start to carry themselves once they did the things that they did, or that they experienced the things that they experienced? And we learn towards the very end of the episode that one of their confessions is that they killed their own big brother. And when I heard and saw that, I was so mad the episode ended. I was so mad. I was like, really, brother? Really? They wasted so much time on this zooming cutaway part where it's just the guy with the biker helmet, and it's zooming further and further away from his character. And they just spent like a good 15, 16 seconds on just that. And I was like, come on. Which it was really cool what he says and stuff, but I already knew that, like, I mean, it was off a lot, some of it was off screen, but I could already guess that this guy was doing it, what he was appreciated of. And it was more the fact that the show doesn't ever stick to the game. It never sticks to just showing us what people are going through in the game, what they have to do, what they should be doing, and then, so and forth. They never just, because if they only focused on these two characters this week, there's a lot that they could have still conveyed outside that would have been missed. Like, for instance, seeing the girl with the glasses still making her move on the pink-haired girl, and the pink-haired girl's like, well, we did this song and dance in the bath area, so you don't have to keep acting like this. You don't have to pretend to do this stuff that you have feelings for me or something like that just for these people. And she actually is like, that's my inspiration. It's clowns and this and that. So she's really, really pushing the ante on every single movement she does on this girl. But everybody else, she seems relatively reserved. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't try to find herself in a room alone with her or with anyone else besides her. So very interesting. And then the other thing is, when she heard about old boy who is, Mr. Sunshine and Ray, she's up and at the races to go and see him. So it's a weird connection between them, and even the pink-haired girl starts to talk about this connection that they have and that they met before. But it almost ensues the wrath of the Paka guy, because our Japanese player, once he's like hearing this information that they've known each other, or that they said something about meeting before this game, that was like a ringing a bell. Like, it wasn't ringing a bell, but it was just even more suspicious than he thought. And after hearing that, he then gets, like, someone practically eavesdropping in on this conversation, and he feels like he's being watched. So it's a very, very cool little scene for him, and how the Paka guy is just that much more aware of everything he's doing, because as soon as this happens and whatnot, the assassin guy then shows up, where the Paka guy is now in the same place where they were talking about them knowing each other and stuff, the assassin does an unexpected ambush on him on the Paka, and we learn that he's willing to use the white room on everybody that decides to mess with this game in any way, shape, or form. If you mess with the harmony, if you break the taboos, if you don't cooperate in the game in general, and just you're supposed to do one thing and you do something opposite, all that stuff is for the white room. And that's where this whole notion of like them putting together these threats without really threatening, like, hey, you're breaking the rules and there's a white room that you can go into if you want to break the rules. It's like, oh, are you threatening me? He's like, am I threatening you? It's like, are you following the rules and doing what you're supposed to be doing? No, then it's not a threat, it's a promise. So that's very interesting that he's, how much attention he's paying, how astute he is to every single situation that's being handled. And going back inside the game, of course, the one taboo that they had to not break was lying. And as soon as they get in, the man with the motorcycle helmet lies, 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 and lies. Almost as if it was meant to be him in there and him to be lying in there. So, yeah, that was a thing. Not to mention the fact that after doing all this, he then shows his true colors, and he tries to protect they're both in there trying to protect each other. They're both not bad people. It's just one likes to hide their feelings more than the other and not show that he's cares and stuff. And hearing him say that he really appreciates the guy for if he can't sleep, the guy plays video games until he can sleep with him. He hates peppers, so the kid eats all the peppers for him. Just really nice things. And the girl said like a million. She said like 5 things within 5 seconds. But the thing that came out at the end is, I wish you were, or like, something big brother. Like, I care for you like a big brother, or like, I wish I could say more about him because he is like my big brother or something. Which, if she feels like he is her true big brother, and her big brother was exactly like this guy, who did she kill him and he's, you know what I mean, like he came back to life? Like, what the heck? I don't think they're actually related, but you get what I'm saying. Like, she feels like this guy's her big brother. She killed her own big brother and now she's pretty much looking, or has to do these games that could cost her life with someone that reminds her of her big brother. It's a very weird, like, connections of things that they put together there. Not to mention the fact that they all seem like they've gone through really tragedies and different things in their life. So if that is the case, I feel like if you guys ever seen Angel Beats, you know where I'm going with this already. So I'll just leave it at that. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil Angel Beats for you, because that's an even more like powerful anime to watch without having any like spoilers or knowing anything going into it. And I feel like this show has that type of feel to it. It feels like if I learn anything about it, that this could be some kind of weird way of doing things, then that would, ruin the show for me. So I have that feeling in the back of my head that it's kind of like an Angel Beats type of thing. And like I said, if you don't know what that means, I do apologize. But it feels like there's just a huge twist in the works that they haven't dropped on us, and that's kind of where I'm going with that. So I don't know for sure, and I'm just guessing. So if I do get it right, I apologize for spoiling you, I guess. But yeah, I honestly am in the dark like everybody else. I just took a crack at a guess, and I don't know if it's right or not. But if it is, it's going to be a wild ride, and if it isn't, I still can't wait to see what we get with this show, because it's been relatively entertaining through and through. The characters are fun, the games are wacky and also dangerous, and I just want to see where all this can end up, because at this point, man, I have high hopes for this show now, because not only have they gone and shown us that they can give us um, great storytelling and convealing, uh, it's like character progression. Like even the motorcycle kid, I feel so bad for him to think that his oldest brother got into a car accident, and then we don't even know what happened to his second oldest brother. Like why is he the one here and not the second oldest? Or maybe did the second oldest go out and try to do this and then didn't come back, so he's looking for his second, you know what I mean? Like, man, there's so much good stuff going on, and I can't wait to see what happens. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will talk to you next time. Peace.